Welcome back to Ace channel, and today I'll be doing something different. I won't be doing a draft analysis. Instead, I'll be just talking about like some pre-game analysis between LGD and Infamous for their PGL minor tomorrow. It'll be the first series of the day, and it's a best of three. So in this video, I'll talk about the play styles and draft styles of each team, as well as like their top picks, top bands, which you can see on the side now. And yeah, so without further ado, let's go into this analysis. LGD is a team from China, very established. They were 4th at TI7. Consists of Ame, which is position 1, maybe in the position 2, FI on the offlane position, the latest addition to the LGD lineup. And usually they have Victoria as a position 4, but in this event, I think Victoria, because he's sick, the coach will be replacing him as the position 4. The coach is 357. And I think he's been coaching LGD for a pretty long time, so he knows the team. The only downside being that it's always not good when you have to change a player. After all, you have been playing together for so long, the play styles are there, and having to play with, even though it's your coach, but it's still someone different, and his movements might not be the same. Your tempo of the team might not be the same. And so yeah. Anyway, last but not least, it'll be Yao, the captain, position 5. On the side of Infamous, they have Kotaro on position 1, Papita on position 2, the mid player, and he's also the captain and drafter of the team, and that's actually a very rare thing to see. We have Stinger on the off lane, Schofield on the position 4, and SL on position 5. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, losing Victoria could be really huge for LGD. They lost their playmaking support position, which is really a big deal. Early game it relies a lot on his rotation, so it's a big unknown for for coach 357 whether he can replicate the same results or whether they will actually change style because of that. So that's one big unknown coming into the match tomorrow. Also, Yao, he tends to play the more stable kind of position 5. Like Ancient Apparition, Shadow Shaman, as well as Lich. And LGD, like every other Chinese teams, they really like to draft and play around having superior team fights. So you can tell by looking at their top 10 heroes on the site. But however, looking at how badly the Chinese did during Star Ladder, this playstyle might not be working anymore. Not sure if it's a team thing or a playstyle thing, because teams might have figured out how to play around such a playstyle and position themselves well against the huge teamfight ultimates, such as Chrono, Ravage, and RP. So it's just like if you see VG, I'm not sure it's, as I mentioned, I'm not sure if it's a team thing or a playstyle thing. But when they play against like even newbie, when they play against teams, they seem know how to play around the chronosphere and stuff, and it's not that easy for them to get off their huge team fight combo. They can't take the fights that they want to. Instead, they're always split apart, and it just looks very ugly because their style just doesn't work anymore. So at this PGL, it'll be a good way to see if it's really a playstyle thing or it's just the teams weren't comfortable going into Star Ladder. Okay, so if LGD, they might need to switch things up here at PGL. And I believe the X factor for LGD would be FY. He's the new addition offlaner. He was always the playmaking support back then, and now he's transited into the offlane. He said in an interview once that a good offlaner will know when to create plays and space for your team, and while at the same time maintaining the resources for yourself. Okay, the heroes he likes to play are like Puck, Magnus, and Sand which are all the playmaking heroes, and sometimes he'll play heroes like Nature's Prophet as well. And when he's on such a hero, like a non-playmaking hero, LGD will definitely make it up somewhere else, like a Earthshaker on Victoria, or like a Faceless Void on Army. And so yeah, it's hard to tell if LGD will do well, mainly due to the fact that they don't have Victoria now and they're playing with their coach 357. Moving on to Infamous, yeah, just a very typical South American style of playstyle. They can be very aggressive, but yeah, at the same time they know their limits of the heroes and they know exactly when to be aggressive and when to play safe. Or like they know they cannot be taking fight, then they will just start farming. So that's actually a very good trait. and it can work very well against the playstyle of LGD if they don't change it up. Of course, when you are aggressive and when you know how to, as in when you know how to be aggressive and at the same time you know how to hold yourself back, it's very hard for the opponent to predict what you want to do. And because LGD, let's say if they draft around a heavy team fight lineup, they might expect to be fighting a lot, but if Infamous is able to play it around and go for a different kind of aggression such that LGD cannot match up to it, then yeah, it might favor Infamous in that regards. And a niche pick for Infamous would be something like Spirit Breaker and Bloodseeker. They do pick it up once in a while, and it'll be very good against. And it'll be very good for the kind of playstyle that they want to bring towards LGD. And also, one more point I want to bring up is Kotaro actually loves playing the Juggernaut, especially in the old patches. And yeah, they might bring it back in. Although we don't really see a lot of Juggernaut in the current meta, I think Star Ladder we didn't even see Juggernaut a single time. But I won't be surprised if Infamous choose to pick up the Juggernaut here at PGL. Okay, so if you look at the left side, the list of top 10 heroes pick and bans for each team, you'll notice that LGD tends to first ban Nyx Assassin as well as Night Stalker pretty highly. And because these two heroes are actually good against the heroes that they prioritize picking. The Earthshaker, the Park, and the Batrider, these are the heroes they really like to pick. And Night Stalker and Nyx Assassin is actually pretty good against these heroes. Earthshaker likes to chain combo like his Echo Slam to Fissure and stuff, but a Nyx Assassin timely Spike Carapace can actually break up this whole chain combo. At the same time, Nyx is also very good against heroes like Park and Batrider. Park is like the mana burn is really painful, and Spike Carapace on the illusory orb will be a very good initiation on a Park. At the same time, Batrider, Spike Carapace against Firefly is one of the most straightforward counter and the most known counter to a Batrider. At the same time, Night Stalker is also very good against heroes like Park and Batrider. The silence on Park is really effective, and the vision game against a Batrider when you're playing a Batrider and you're up against a Night Stalker and it's nighttime, the amount of vision that you have as a Batrider is so limited, and it's gonna be so difficult for you to get the initiations that you want. So yeah, that explains why they prioritize banning Night Stalker and Nyx Assassin so much. And these three heroes that I mentioned, Earthshaker, Park, and Batrider, not only does LGD really prioritize them, if you look at it, the Infamous picks, top 10 picks, you also will notice that they actually really like these heroes as well. So these three heroes are going to be a very highly contested in the games to come. And if you notice that Infamous actually they don't favor the Nyx Assassin at all, be it picking it or banning it. It's not in any of their top 10. So LGD, if they know this, they can consider either taking the risk and not banning Nyx, or just playing it safe and removing it anyway because of how it answers to all the heroes that they like to play. Moving on, the Infamous, they similar to SG Esports, they like to play this position 5 Chuck hero. I'm not sure what is it about it that they like it, but it's just, I don't know, maybe it's a South American thing where they like it. And complexity, they also do that, but it might be just they learn it from scrims and stuff, so I'm not sure. Okay, so this Shakiro here, you might actually see LGD banning it away as well. There's a possibility for it. And yeah, Infamous prioritize banning the Leech in the first phase, looking at the stats. You'll likely see them banning Leech against LGD as well, because if Yao can pick it up, he should pick it up, I would say. Okay, anyway, before I continue, I just want to say that the stats you see on the sites, I took them from Dead Dota, so I'd like to shout out to Dead Dota, and yeah, just to let you all know about this website, deaddota.com. I don't get anything from them, but it's a really good website where you can check out all the stats and stuff. So yeah, these stats were taken from them. So talking about the first phase bans and first phase picks, I think this series will be very interesting just because they have very similar heroes where they prioritize. So whether which teams want to ban or pick, or whether they're okay with playing against it and having a counter, because especially if you're a team that likes to play this hero, you tend to know the best counters to it, because when you're so comfortable with it, you know what's bad against it. So yeah, so the whole mind games and the whole pick priority as well, I think will be very important in this series to come. And I will really say that this whole first phase picks and ban will be the most interesting part of the draft, and it'll be very nice to watch it unfold. Another hero that Infamous do pick up once in a while, it's the Clockwork on the position 4. I think the Schofield is actually a very good Clockwork player. And yeah, in summary of this whole thing, I would say that if it's a best of one, I might favor Infamous just because their playstyle is really unpredictable. And as I mentioned, it's a very good playstyle against what LGD has. But if LGD can, let's say if they lose game 1 and then they can learn from their mistakes and switch things up, they might be able to take game 2 and 3. So if you ask me, I think this game might go in the favor of LGD 2-1. But that being said, it's really hard to predict also because of the 357 factor. We don't know how good the coach will be with them. We don't know how synergized they are. We don't know how much practice they have been getting. And I think is this going to the series, LGD must make a decision of whether they want to change up the Chinese playstyle or they want to stick to what they're comfortable with. And that's going to be another highlight to keep up for. And if LGD can win SA, they can take revenge for VG and Newbie at Star Ladder. It's a pretty hype first series, and I hope you like this analysis that I've done. So it's not a very in-depth one because there are a lot of uncertainties on the side of LGD as well as Infamous. So yeah, but I hope you like it, and I'll be doing the next series as well, and hopefully you'll continue watching and subscribe and like it. Thank you.